You know, it's always an honor for me to be in the Oval Office with the greatest president of my lifetime. Yes, I said it, and I meant it. You know, I just got home last night. I toured the border in California, Arizona, and Texas. I did it in a four-wheel drive. I did it on the river. I did it from the air. Hundreds upon hundreds of miles of border. I didn't see one illegal alien. Not a single one.
What the Obama administration did was they started releasing people in mass, something that we had never seen before, and called it prosecutorial discretion, saying, well, we are going to put them in we're going to put them in deportation proceedings. They will see a judge later on down the road. Then when Trump came in, he ended what we call catch and release. And the moment he ended catch and release, we saw a drop in illegal immigration to 45-year lows. I'd never seen anything like it before, as quickly as before, and I work with the administration on these policies.
And ending catch and release amounted to holding people in detention until they could be processed and deported, correct?
Or having them wait in Mexico pending their asylum proceeding. People are not going to give thousands of dollars to the cartels just to be held in custody or to have to wait in Mexico pending their proceeding, because they know that they're not going to be able to prove that they have a legitimate asylum claim. And because they're not going to be able to prove that, they're going to stop coming. Drug smuggling went down because we were able to go after the cartels. So we saw a huge drop in the amount of drug smuggling that were taking place. So then Biden comes in and he immediately got rid of all of the effective border policies that Trump had. And from day one, we saw a huge spike in illegal immigration. Not only did we see a huge spike in illegal immigration, but we saw a huge spike in the amount of fentanyl that were on our streets. And the DEA has said that 95% of the fentanyl that we see on our streets is coming from Mexico.
I've done this since 1984. I worked for 6 different presidents. No one's done more than President Trump. What he has done is gave us the most secure border in the history of this nation. Hard stop. I went to hundreds of miles of border and didn't see one illegal alien. Incredible, considering the Biden administration, we had 10, 12,000 a day.
I don't remember the last time I felt so proud to be an American. I feel so good to be an American. I appreciate this administration for what they're doing to consider Americans and not immigrants over Americans. It's a fight. It's a fight, because once you entitle people to your house, you're going to have to fight to get them out. So I understand that. But I'm saying, me, as an American, I am so proud to be an American. And I appreciate all this administration is doing to protect Americans. It will ruffle feathers. It will make outsiders and some insiders feel left out and feel like we are more important than maybe we should be. But Americans matter. We matter in this global society. And I feel like we've been pushed around so long, not just by people outside of America, but also by American leaders. And I appreciate MAGA. I appreciate what they're doing to discover autism and causes of autism related to vaccinations. I appreciate turning that food pyramid upside down, feeding us like animals, and we over here talking about it's healthy. I appreciate knocking these drug boats out the oblivion for trying to bring drugs over here and kill all us. Been invited to leave this country if you're here illegally. I appreciate that being enforced, that you can leave freely and get paid to leave, or we will have to forcibly remove you. I appreciate that. I appreciate someone looking through the books saying, wait a minute, these numbers don't add up. Where's this money going? Oh, we're doing stuff overseas we could be doing here, or that money should be prioritized for veterans. I appreciate that. I've never felt so patriotic in my life. And I appreciate administration for what they're doing to help Americans move forward and enjoy the prosperity of our own country. So thank you to the Trump administration for all the battles you're fighting at home and abroad. Thank you for making America first. Thank you for regaining the respect for our country. Thank you for standing for Americans. Thank you.
Most released in the United States. I'm proud to be with these patriots behind me. I'm already proud to be in the Oval Office of the President, but being with these heroes, I met some of these soldiers down on the border. And actually, a shout out to Fort Drum, New York. We got some 10th Mountain Division here, so Elise Stefanik, Claudia Tenney, we all love Fort Drum and the 10th Mountain. So look, this is a game changer. I want to make something perfectly clear, because we get attacked all the time being inhumane. The Biden administration is much more humane. It's a bunch of crap. Because there's been studies done that 31% of women that make that journey through the cartels get sexually assaulted. They get raped.
Well, the story I was telling you earlier was one that I had taken a news crew down, and we were doing a tour of the border, and came across ICE and Border Patrol on horseback and also on ATVs, and they told us to be very careful that there were coyotes in the area that had
coyotes, not the animal coyotes.
Not the animals. These are the Mexican cartel coyotes, and they had executed the husbands of the 2 women and 2 daughters that they were now looking for. And what ended up happening is that they had separated themselves and had gone, I guess, back to Mexico. And eventually the women, we did come across them. And so in carrying one of the 8-year-olds to the car, and then we eventually got them to medical treatment and to the border ICE and stuff, and started talking to them. Now I've got a medical background, so started evaluating them. And the 8-year-old little girl couldn't speak, she couldn't talk, she couldn't do anything at all. So when we finally turned them over and they took them to the hospital and stuff, and I talked to the doctor in regards to what was going on, I got a call from him, and he said, basically, professional in the medical field. I just wanted to let you know, the little 8-year-old girl had 67 different DNA samples inside of her. So these are the things that people don't know about, and they don't understand that these women are being...
Stop right there. This is so shocking to me that the Biden administration is allowing, and the cartels are allowing this to go on and to launder money for this human trafficking and all these atrocities that are taking place. And here's an 8-year-old little girl, innocent little girl, that has 67 traces of DNA. How is that even possible?
Well, that's the minimum that she could have been raped. And the reason why she couldn't talk was because she had screamed and cried for so many days and weeks coming up to America, the land of opportunity. Well, these women, the land of opportunity is filled with nothing but abuse, rape, and all of the things that take place, because every time that they walk and then they stop at night, that is what takes place at all night long.
And not just the women, children too. I've done numerous investigations in that. Sex trafficking was historic highs with the open border. Fentanyl, historic highs that killed 250,000 Americans. No inspector terrorists that came across the border. Record, historic. What happened under the Biden administration was the most inhumane thing I've seen in my lifetime. Now that the border is 96% decline, 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being raped? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this country every day? How many known suspected terrorists aren't just walking across that border? President Trump and this administration is saving thousands of lives every month. Hard stop. That's just a stone cold fact. I'm just proud to be a part of this. I work with Steve Miller every day. Steve Miller is one of the most brilliant people I've met in my entire life. President Trump brought together one hell of a team here, and the success proves we all working together, one team, one fight. We're not done yet. We're going to keep going, and I guarantee you we can continue saving thousands and thousands of lives. Secure border means strong national security. Secure border saves lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
So Ilhan Omar goes in front of Congress and tries playing the victim on how she's an immigrant and she's treated badly. But wait till you hear what Congresswoman Lisa McClain has to say in response. It is absolutely priceless.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those in favor say no. No. It's the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it and the resolution is agreed to. And without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
This debate today, it's about who gets to be an American. What opinions do we have to be counted as Americans?
Flashback.
jawaabteedu waxay ahayd dowladda Mareykanka waxay ka qabanaysaa wixii annaga aan dhahno dowladda Mareykanka qabo. waa kalsoonidaas inaan isku qabno annaga Soomaali haddii aan nahay. Wadankan annaga ku nool. Wadankan wadankii aan annaga tax ka dhiibno waaye. Waa wadankii gabar idinka dhalatayne ee Congress-ka fadhiso. Intii aniga aan Congress joogo. Wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan. Wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan. Marka taas ka seexda.
This is what this debate is about, Madam Speaker. There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. It is no accident that members of the Republican Party accused the first Black president, Barack Obama, of being a secret Muslim. Well, I am Muslim. I am an immigrant, and interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected.
Today, we're diving straight into one of the most intense congressional showdowns we've seen lately, a fiery exchange that put identity, law, and the Constitution head-to-head. At the center of it all, Representative Ilhan Omar, who came out swinging with bold accusations, but it didn't end the way she may have hoped. Let's break this all down into 10 key moments that tell the real story, and expose the deeper battle going on behind the headlines. Ilhan Omar started off by painting herself as a victim of racism, of Islamophobia, and of political targeting.
Gentleman reserves. Gentlelady from Michigan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to use that logic, well, then all those people should have just said sorry and we'd move on, right? But no, we don't do that. And let me tell you, I take a little bit of offense to what the hell is wrong with me. I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with me. I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to hold the Constitution, and it's very simple. We really shouldn't even have this debate. If you break the law and you follow due process, there are consequences to your actions, even if you say sorry. So we can try all of the diversion tactics that we would like. It doesn't change the fact that someone broke the law and that someone should be held accountable. It is disappointing, Mr. Speaker, that their own party can't hold them accountable, that they have such hypocrisy. So with that, I yield 2 minutes to my friend from New York, Nicole Meliatakis.
Gentlewoman from New York is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views But I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela, that is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America, in Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability, because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress to foreign nations. I yield back.
99.9% of people I talk to, they don't have any umbrage with immigrants. They want people to come into this country. If they want America to be better off and more prosperous and more safe, more secure, yeah, I'm all for immigrants. People who want to actually be a net positive for this country. But when it comes to Ilhan Omar, she wants to come into this country, reap all the benefits, get rich on her own behalf, yet she wants to destroy the very fabric of this nation and everything that made her a success to begin with. And a success is a bit of a stretch, because if you ask me, this woman is nothing but a DEI hire. She was basically planted into that position, and she's only in this country to create division, to create chaos, to get people mad at one another. I mean, is it such a radical thought for wanting our government to be looking out for its own constituents, to look out for Americans and Americans' interests? Because the way it is right now, a lot of Democrats in power, Ilhan Omar especially, they want ill will towards other Americans. It doesn't make sense. Like right here, she's crying about how she's an immigrant, poorly treated, this, that, or the other. You're treated that way because you treat the other side with contempt, hatefulness, and hostility. So it is no wonder that you get that in return, because you're actively trying to destroy this country. I'm sick and tired of hearing the whining, the excuses. If you hate this country so much, why don't you leave this country and go to whatever country that you want to go to? Because it's clear America's not doing it for you, so just kick rocks. And something nobody else ever mentions is this woman married her brother. This is not a conspiracy. This is not a talking point amongst Republicans, as they like to say. This is a documented fact. In order to get into this country, she married her biological brother. I don't understand how people can see that and not be grossed out, not be disgusted by it, because this should not be happening, especially if somebody's a sitting member of Congress and they're out here doing something like that. I don't know about you, but I want to go back to the days where people in Congress held themselves with dignity, respect, and was actually open to hearing other sides and having political discussions, and not just calling the other side evil because we somehow hate immigrants, even though that could not be further from the truth. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Out of all the members of the squad, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and all the others, who do you think has the best future in politics, if any of them? Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.
Ignore the fact that we are different. We celebrate it. The original plan was to have the Somali flag flying under the U.S. flag for 1 week as part of a celebration and solidarity with our Somali community. The fact that our president feels so comfortable using dehumanizing language against people, especially people who already are vulnerable to attacks and racism, it was very saddening to me, sadly not surprising.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
It took us by surprise on Monday, several days later, when all of a sudden our phones began to blow up, our emails began to get some really violent threats and racist messages, extremely racist messages. And we realized it was a concerted effort by social media influencers and pages and websites posting our phone numbers and our information and asking people to basically harass us.
When people tell you can't be yourself in the place you live, in the place that you're from, or at least grew up in, it's heartbreaking. One student said, "Mr. Mukhtar, what's going on? And am I safe? Is my family safe? I know I was born here, but is my mom safe?" And that really broke my heart because, you know, when you come to school, you shouldn't be worried about. The president is your president. We should be looking up to the president, you know.
Listen, we don't need no lessons from people on the president becoming the president. We don't need no lessons. So what you've basically seen is, and this kind of went viral on social media, the Somali community in multiple different schools actually sat there and they lowered, according to what was being shown, they lowered the American flag and they actually raised the Somali flag. The first thing that I have a problem with is the fact that we sitting here having a conversation about Somalis having flags inside of the United States of America. Only flag that should be flown here is the flag from the state. So a lot of states have their own flags. And then, you know, like California has its own flag, Chicago has its own flag, and then the United States of America flag. There should be no other flags outside of the state flag and the American flag. How can people come over here and bring their flags and get away with it? That's the part that I don't understand. I'm very confused on how we let that happen. Why is there any other flag outside of the state flag and the American flag over here in the United States of America? So there was also, it's so disrespectful. It's just so disrespectful. There's also protests that was happening out there in Minneapolis.
Get off the street! Get off the street!
You have sprays?
I'm dying, yeah.
Are you okay?
No. Yeah. He's not okay. He's not okay.
What happened?
They put the spray in his eye.
Oh.
See how disrespectful those people are? Do you see how disrespectful those people are? They come over here, they slap, they blow the horns, they get in the middle of the street. Listen, this is a different type of group of people. They not afraid. They not afraid. They hitting the cars, they bumping into it like you running into a person on the street. They out there with their whistles. They opposing ICE. That same person right there, the one that's right by the Durango, they've been getting pepper sprayed with bear spray the whole time, and they still ain't walked away. And of course, you're going to get joined in by the white apologists. If you ever want to make sure that you get an effective protest against the United States of America, all you got to do is recruit a white apologist, and you're going to be in there, baby, in there like swimwear. So usually they'll have red hair, green hair, something like that. So, you know, they're definitely going to come over here and do some of the wildest things. But the point is these people feel as though they can come up there and go against the police, go against ICE, go against Homeland Security, go against everything. White guilt is a real thing. White people, white apologists, y'all something else, bro. Your mask fell down. Your mask fell down. I'm going to get you on video, buddy. Yes, it did. Yes. We're going to find out where you live. We're going to find out everything about your family. We're going to get you. Your mask fell down. Your mask fell down. Your mask fell down. White people are a different breed of people. Honestly, white apologists are a different breed. Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. We're going to upload it to TikTok immediately. Find this guy. Find out where he lives.
When it's time to go, you can choose how. You can wait for enforcement, or you can leave on your terms. The CBP Home app lets you self-deport with dignity, directly, and securely. Don't wait. Decide how it ends.
Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president. Crying harder. Crying harder. Trump is your president.
On the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" exclamation point, catch exclamation point.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Hey, let me shut down the city! We are at war!
We're in a war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. We see it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
You can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat.
But Michelle says that, when they go low, we go high.
No. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high.
When they go low, we kick them.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets.
It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
He's not going to have a third term. He may not finish his term.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. Just saying. There will be news sometime. Just so you know, there will be news.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.